not life. That's not the way it works. The Hallel that David HaMelech wrote was a Hallel that takes into consideration the fact that life is always tenuous, there's always something to be frightened of, and that we thank the Rabbi Sholom for what he does for us, and then in the same breath, we look up to him and we say, Ono Hashem Oshiano. I get a feeling sometimes that we may have put too much stress on the Yom Yerushalayim and have lost sight of the fact that 3 million Jews were saved in the 6-day war. You fellas are young. The experience of May 1967, whoever did not experience May 1967, the month during which the noose was being tightened around this little Eretz Yisrael, Nasser Yalach Shemo is screaming before hundreds of thousands of Egyptians. 100,000 troops move into the Sinai. UN is removed. He cuts off the Straits of Tiran. Jordan joins with Egypt. Syria gets on board. There was a sense of pachad that this Eretz Yisrael's chas v'sholom going to be destroyed. That's how we live. Of course, I was in Toronto at the time. There were tefillah, people were raising money. I hope I'll be able to tell the story. I always get so choked up. There's in the papers in Toronto. A Jew comes into his bank, goes to his bank manager. He wants a loan. Fine sum of money. Bank manager asks him, what do you want it for? He says, I want to give to Israel. You know, they're in terrible grave danger. I want to give to Israel. Bank manager says, we don't give loans for that. You know, if you want to buy a house, you want to fix some things up in the house. So he turns to me and says, I want a loan for home improvement. And the bank manager gave him the loan. It was a Klal Yisrael throughout the world. We sensed the fear and the trepidation. And then, when the Yeshua came, we couldn't believe it. We were walking around in a daze. You have to know the pachad in order to understand the greatness of the miracle. The Hatzal of 3 million Jews. I remember then after, it was a few weeks afterwards, there was an Aguda convention in the United States. And Rabbi Levine, who was a member of Knesset, came to Israel was the talk of the whole world. So somebody said that there was a big Rebbe. Big Rebbe's made it clear that all the victories in the 6-day war, it's all the Satan. The Sitra Achra. My father, Rabbi Sholom, was the big Zionist in Williamsburg. I was born in Williamsburg. Williamsburg? You know where Williamsburg is? Williamsburg, Brooklyn, Williamsburg. I was born in Williamsburg. My father was known as the resident Zionist in Williamsburg. But it means, of course, that whatever I am, I come by it very, very honestly. It's in the genes. So I remember the Satmar boys used to start up with my father, because he'd have the nerve to walk around Williamsburg with a blue and white pushka raising money for and they were afraid of him. So I remember some Satmar guy started yelling, "Hey, the Sultan!" So he said, my father says, I never knew Azad Gita Sultan. What a good Sultan. So at the Aguda convention, somebody got up and gave this Satan bit, you understand? So Rabbi Levine got up one of his greatest statements. He says, 6 Millionen haben uns gehaget, ist gewähnt Rezon Hashem. Und als Mismatzel 3 Millionen Jeden ist das der Sultan, 6 million Jews are killed, so you call that Rezon Hashem, was God's will. And if 3 million Jews are saved, that's the Sultan, that can't be God's will. There was a tremendous Hatzalah of Klal Yisrael during the 6-day war. And the added tremendous gift was the gift of Yerushalayim. Our focus has got to be on, this was a Hatzolah Mimavis L'chaim. We all thought that this is it. This is it. I have one final comment, and I've thought about this a great deal. Those two psukim in Hallel, Zeh hayom osa Hashem nogilo v'nis b'chapo, and immediately afterwards, Ono Hashem Hoshiana, I believe the only person who has the right to stand up before the Rabbeinu Shalom and say, Ono Hashem Hoshiana, is the person who can say in the fullness of his Yiddishkeit, Zeh hayom osa Hashem nogilo v'nis b'chapo. If you don't thank me for what I did for you, don't come bother me to save you. If you've gotten up there and you said, Rabbeinu Shalom, you did great things for us, we need you again. If you said Zeh hayom, you can say, Ono Hashem Hoshiana. You haven't said Zeh hayom, don't bother me. I think that's the essential message of those psukim. We have a great deal to pray for. The period in which we are living right now, I call it May 1967. We're living in May 1967. We are under threat of total destruction by Iran. 40,000 missiles, Hezbollah in the north. We don't know how many missiles Hamas has. Syria has chemical weapons. A friend? We thought we had a friend. We don't have that friend either. You know what it is? What's happening right now is the noose is tightening around Eretz Yisrael. And we have to be able to say, Ono Hashem Hoshiana, you're the only one we have left in this whole universe. But we can't do that if we can't say thank you for all the nisim and the flyers, and stop walking around with your nose in the ground over there like, it's not full enough, it's not this enough, that's not good enough. Thank the Rabbeinu Shalom for what he's given. If it's Hashem on Wednesday, I'm going to say B'kavona Gedola, Zeh hayom osa Hashem nogilo v'nis b'chapo. And then I'm going to say an Ono Hashem Hoshiana. Oh, am I going to say an Ono Hashem Hoshiana? I keep telling my wife, there are great things going to happen. Great things are going to happen. The Rabbeinu Shalom is going to pull great stuff, because there's nobody else in this world that's going to help us. And I just can't wait. I want to see it. I want to see it now. I want to see how he's going to take all of these Seinei Yisrael and just obliterate them. It's going to happen. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. So we're going to say, Zeh hayom osa Hashem nogilo v'nis b'chapo. That's going to give us license to say Ono Hashem Hoshiana with great kavana. Rabotai, Chag Sameach.